How did you lose your virginity? And at what age? 22. She later became my wife. I'm honestly shocked at the number of people who lost it after 20 years. Oh. I felt like it was rare. Joke's on me, we really are all the same. I had just turned 17, lost it to a person that became my girlfriend through the internet, more exactly through Habbo Hotel. Haha. This was in 2006, when meeting people through the internet was still considered shameful and weird. We had been seeing each other for a month maybe? We were at my place in my bed. Couldn't get it up the first time, or all night because I was so nervous. Then morning came and everything functioned and she rode me for the glorious maybe 2-3 minutes. 21. A girl I had never met before invited herself into my bed and coaxed me into it. Which was fine. We had an almost purely sexual relationship for about a month, until I found out she was married. I think she was looking for a replacement husband. When she realized I wasn't the one, she ghosted. I was 17. With a girl I was dating for almost 6 months. Tried to make it classy, got a hotel room and everything. 21. To a crack addict in Brooklyn, 1988. With sex, at 37. Male here. Woman I had been hanging out with near constantly for about 2 months produced a condom one evening and asked, "Do you wanna fuck?" I really liked her, so we did. I was 32 years old. At 24, awkwardly to what I considered my best friend at the time. She was my assistant manager, and we talked all the time in and out of work, but she had a serious drinking problem. She was so drunk she failed to come to work and was fired. I went over to cheer her up and one thing led to another. Family Guy was playing in the background, and I did not last that long. Lol. 19. To my dream girl. Best way it could have gone. 19. Drunk with an exchange student from Korea. She laughed at the end and there was a weird silence, so I went back to my dorm, right downstairs, but realized I didn't have my key on me and my roommate was asleep, so I went back to her room and awkwardly asked if I could stay with her. Next day she asked me to never speak of what we did. Lol. Edit. Not cultural, just embarrassingly bad sex that she didn't want our friends to know about. I was 15. It was after a high school football game where some kid picked a fight with me. It wasn't a complete beatdown, but I didn't win the fight. I had just started seeing a girl and I think she felt bad for me and didn't walk away when we got back to my place and I offered to show her the black light in my bedroom. About a minute into it I heard my sister opening the front door. We had to stop. That was more than enough time, though. I promised I wouldn't risk having a kid until I had a job that paid enough for me to support one. I turned 18 and immediately got into construction. Where I'm at, you can support yourself off about 15 an hour if you aren't living in the big cities, or if you are fine with crackhead neighbors. That's off 40 hours. I was making 14 an hour and working 50 plus hours a week, so I called my friend. He called a girl. We had sex in the cab of his truck while he sat on the tailgate and had beer. He did not finish the first one before we were done. He shook his head and told us he was drinking at least 3, so we might as well keep trying. That man is gonna be the best man at my wedding next month. 23. To a girl I had been seeing for a few weeks at the time. 15 years old. To the 18-year-old DJ I was dating, in the back of his red Jeep. I had zero idea of the mechanics of sex, and it happened so fast that I didn't even realize that what we did was sex until, afterwards, when he asked if I was on birth control. Fast forward a decade and I see his mugshot on the news. He was arrested for arson in 2020. I was 16, dating a 25-year-old. He picked me up on my lunch break from work, Walgreens, my first job. We went back to his house, did it, then he dropped me back at work. Lunch break was 30 minutes. Had to get back on the register and act like everything was normal. Went home and cried. Never really realized how sad this sounded until typing it out. Lamau. Edit. Thanks for the awards. They're very much appreciated. I'm very bummed by the amount of replies I've gotten from people with similar stories. I hate that so many can relate to this. I swing back and forth between thinking it wasn't that big a deal and I was a willing participant, in the way that I kinda just wanted to get it over with, and feeling taken advantage of. The things that happened after are clear to me now to be grooming. I got grounded, so he bought me a phone so I could sneak around my parents and meet with him. He called my school pretending to be my dad to tell them I was sick so I could skip school to be with him. He even filmed us having sex without telling me first. I'm 30 now and it's been so long that I try to just not think about it. I will say the amount of people in our friend group who turned a blind eye was alarming, and I just want anyone reading this to stand up for girls when they're in that position if you ever come across it. 16 to my now husband. It was good except for the condom coming off and having to get the morning after pill. At least I'll never forget. I was 20, lost it to my first wife. Damn sure wish I could unring that bell. I was 22, I found that one special lady. 27. After years of expecting life to just to hand me a romantic interest, I got sick of the self-pity and feeling like I wasn't normal, and decided to fake it till I made it, having not even had a girlfriend before. Part of that was abandoning the idea of having firsts with anyone, and it being special. At that age I thought women would find it weird, or wouldn't want to deal with an inexperienced guy. So I never mentioned it. I just wanted to feel like a normal late 20s, doing normal late 20s things. Eventually I hit it off with a woman, and ended up having sex with her. It was like a weight had been lifted on my shoulders and I could get on with my life. Other than the mild deception, I don't regret it. I just wanted to feel like an adult, and I succeeded in doing that. I didn't lose it. I know exactly where I left it. With a good friend of mine at 14, I think. We both had fucked up childhoods and fucked up home lives, so we kinda just explored awkward sexual stuff with each other. Friends with benefits, I guess? She was a great person. She passed away of a drug overdose 5 years later. I think about her often. Today. 19F. In 22 and still haven't lost it. Lost mine to my boyfriend of 2 months at 16, 4 years later we're still together. I don't lose my virginity, I win my virginity. I currently am undefeated and have 6 of them. 15, just a few weeks before my 16th. I wanted to lose my virginity and asked a senior on my water polo team if he would be up for the task. Invited him over one night, and had quite an incredible experience. He was gentle and consistently checking in throughout the experience to ensure I was still okay with how everything was progressing. 31 to my best friend. Flew out to his state specifically so he could take my virginity. He made it a lovely experience for me, and I can't think of a better way for it to have happened tbh. Might have liked it sooner, but hey. I haven't. I talk about PS1 horror games all day on Twitter. Of course, I didn't lose it. 18. I went to prom with a friend. I knew she wanted to date me, but I wasn't interested. I was so focused on athletics senior year and my full ride athletic scholarship I didn't want a GF. After prom we went to a resort town where my friend's parents had rented 8 couples from prom of Verbo. There was a hot tub on the back deck and we were all there hanging out doing some drinking. Couple by couple left to go to the bedrooms and it ended up being just me and her left in the hot tub. Out of the blue she stood up, took off her bikini, and sat down in my lap. She pulled my trunks off and rode me in the hot tub. We didn't even kiss. I just remember her tits in my face and she trying to guide me to suck on them, but I didn't want to. I feel weird now about it cause I didn't want to have sex with her at all. We were both 17, at a friend's party, and it just happened after we snuck into a bedroom. We were each other's firsts, smiley face, still together 15 years later and expecting our third baby. High school sweethearts, heart. I'm noticing a lot of 20-plus adults who are still virgins here. Great lesson for any teenagers in here who feel peer pressure from their peers to have sex while still in high school. Everyone is not doing it.